Pro Football Weekly is grading all 32 teams' draft. Right now we're looking at the Houston Texans. Arthur, when you look at the needs that the Texans had going into the draft, how do you think they did in terms of filling those?
Well, I think they did a fantastic job. You looked at their top three needs. Replacing Mario Williams was a big deal. They needed to find someone who could come and provide a little bit of juice off the edge. I think they did that at the top with Whitney Mercilus. We knew they needed to revamp that wide receiving unit. Wasn't good without Andrew Johnson last year. And needed to really bring in some fresh blood, some guys who could make some plays. They added a pair of receivers, knocked that need off the list. And then lastly, you lose Eric Winston, you lose Mike Brazel in the offseason. You know, even if you're not going to get new starters, you need to improve the depth of that offensive line, and I think they did that right in the middle of the draft with a couple interior guys and then a late sixth-rounder who's a really nice developmental prospect.
What was your favorite pick that they made?
I like the wide receiver out of Michigan State, Keyshawn Martin, fourth-rounder. I think he's got a chance to add a different element to that unit. Andre Johnson is your big physical guy who'll go up and get it anywhere on the field. Martin's more of a sudden, explosive space player. I think he's got a good chance to be an upgrade over Jacoby Jones. I don't know how much that is saying, especially if you ask Texans fans.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the size of Jacoby Jones, but he does have that suddenness, that explosiveness. I think he can help in the return game, and I think he's going to pan out for them real nicely.
Hopefully he can hold on to the ball as well, which I know is something that Texans fans want. What was your least favorite pick they made?
This might be a little surprising. A lot of people talked about Crick as a nice value in the fourth round. He may turn out to be a nice value, but I just don't know how he fits into Wade Phillips' scheme. Obviously, everyone knows about the injuries. That's what knocked him down on draft day. Didn't play a lot his last year in school. But more than that, I'm not sure he has the strength to hold up as a five technique in that defense. And I know they're going to want to move him around, see if they can get a little bit out of him as a nickel pass rusher. But just seems like a bit of an odd fit for me in the Phillips scheme, and we'll see if it pans out.
Yeah, you know, we had heard about Crick throughout the season, and he had slid down boards as we got closer to the draft. When you look at the full haul that they got, what grade are you giving the Texans?
I'm going to give the Texans a B. I think Rick Smith did a real nice job. Again, we talked about it at the top. I think he was able to match value with needs, and while this is a team that's very talented, they didn't have a great offseason. We knew that they needed help on the offensive line. We knew that they needed a couple upgrades. I think they accomplished those goals. We'll see how much impact they can get early out of these guys, but I think long-term this looks like it could be a success.
And with the success that they had in last year's draft and the guys that came in like J.J. Watt and Brooks Reed that came in and contributed right away, if they can get another season like that, Texans are going to be tough to deal with this year. That's a look at their draft. We have grades for all 32 teams. You can check them out at ProFootballWeekly.com.